Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. I want to thank everyone who's subscribing, I want to thank everyone who's been commenting, I want to thank everyone who has been watching these videos, and for some people who are asking me, okay, when are we going to get that Silence review by Morten City, or I don't have the luxury of having a million subscribers or many millions of views that I can go in and see an advanced screening of everything that comes my way. I'd see like every film that comes my way that is always has a limited release in December and wire release in January, so I'll see when that comes my way specifically. It's one of the few films that in December that everyone wants to see, and that is Passengers. And this is directed by Morten Tyldum. He directed The Imitation Game a while back, and that was a really good film. And this is written by John Spates, who wrote Prometheus. He also wrote Doctor Strange, and this script was on the most liked. This script was on the blacklist, which again I have issues particularly with. And this reportedly has been wanting to be made for more than decades. First off, let me say this, I'm glad I saw this film because quite frankly I got sick of seeing the trailers for this film. Of course now, after seeing the film, I'm now subjugated to watching 50 Shades Darker trailers. So there you go. This is going to be some stuff that I spoiled because quite frankly, trailers for this film are quite misleading, and that's one of the things that I really get annoyed by sometimes is a film that's really just misleads you. The Homestead 2 is traveling into a distant planet of 120 years. They have about 5,000 passengers who are in cryogenic sleep, and also about a crew of 200 that are also in deep sleep basically here. Unfortunately, due to an asteroid collision, one of these passengers, a mechanic named Jim Parsons, played by Pratt, awakens, realizes, oh yeah, I've only been sleeping for 30 years, I have 90 or more years to go here. And basically, by the time that we arrive, or he sends out a signal to call for help, although that will only arrive even later, he realizes, I'm going to die alone in space. Wow. The only person they has to talk to is a robotic bartender, and the first time you see this robotic bartender, you're thinking to yourself, is this out of The Shining at all? And this bartender's name is Arthur. He's played Michael Sheen, and quite frankly, he's like Michael Sheen here, only he's a bartender and he has robotic legs. And basically he serves some alcohol, basically. What can you do if you're alone in space? So basically facing a 90-year journey alone and going nuts or not being in his right mind or doing everything he can to have done on the ship basically here, he then decides, what the heck of it, I'll make an executive decision and I'll decide to wake someone up. Which is conveniently missed out of the trailer here. He then decides to wake up Aurora Lane, played by Jennifer Lawrence, because he apparently falls in love with her, basically, considering that she's asleep and yeah, it's really odd. And basically he feigns knowledge that, oh yeah, your thing malfunctioned as well. And basically now this thing turns into a romance film. The film goes to great lengths to really try to sympathize Jim and his actions. And again, some people might sympathize with the fact that, yeah, you're alone, what do you do basically here? But the problem here is when Aurora finds out, and she does find out, again, this film cops out when it comes to dealing with the specific issue at hand, the fact that, yeah, these two people are awake, and one of them is sentenced to death in such a way that, yeah, I'm now with you basically here, and even though, yeah, I might like you, you did this incredibly shitty thing to me basically here. Another director, and Morten Tyldum, again, I liked The Imitation Game a lot. That was a really great film. Quite frankly, you could have easily done something that made this film a little more creepy with the fact that, yes, this guy woke this girl up. Clearly, another director could have done that. Morten Tyldum is not, I don't think, is interested in doing that. And here's another thing. 1/3 of this film is a man alone in space. And again, that's not necessarily new. We've seen that before with, Tom Hanks in Castaway, Matt Damon in space, Sam Rockwell in space, John Cusack alone in a room in 1408. But yeah, then the next third of this is a romance. Here's the thing here, folks. 2/3 of this film is an art house film. It might be a big budget art house film, but the last third of this film is a ship that's going nuts. I like Chris Pratt. I like Jennifer Lawrence. They make a good couple. I would love to see them in anything they do. The problem here is Passengers gives them a nothing, and I mean a nothing to do. So basically, as I keep repeating myself, 1/3 man alone in space, 1/3 romance story, 1/3 disaster story. And it's like also Lawrence Fishburne shows up as another person who wakes up, and all he's there to do is provide some exposition to this film. It was reportedly being close made several times. It was supposed to star Keanu Reeves and Rachel McAdams. After Rachel McAdams achieved breakout success with, all the, the Notebook and Wedding Crashers, that's how long this film has been in development for. And it's like, I'll be honest, I don't even think, maybe Keanu Reeves could, I don't know, can Keanu Reeves portray creepy? Again, I don't really know, because is Chris Pratt the actor, not Chris Pratt the character. It's just really amazing. And again, it's like, again, the cinematography is nice, the production is nice, but again, this is an art house film on a big budget here. This is really a schizophrenic film, folks. I just find myself saying that to myself. It's boring. It's not interesting. You feel like, again, they really skip out a very fascinating conversation here, folks. Again, they avoid consequences throughout this film. I like Chris Pratt. I like Jennifer Lawrence. But in the end, folks, I'm sympathetic for this film. I'm giving this a Netflix rating because there are some parts that I do think work. And again, the production design and cinematography work really good in this film. But again, it's like, I'm being generous. Trust me, I don't know why. So folks, what do you think about Passengers? Do you happen to like it? Do you not care for it at all? Put that in the comment section, folks, below. And what is your favorite outer space film? There you go. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll be seeing you next time, folks. Yay.